Redfern, the home of Sydney's largest Aboriginal community. It is a struggling community that Australia tries to support to create a better standard of living, but what has Australia done in generating equality? Since 2006, Australia's top Indigenous and non-Indigenous organisations, health bodies and NGOs have worked together to achieve a goal to close the health and life expectancy gap between Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander and non-Indigenous Australians within a generation. There have been a number of organisations promoting awareness to help achieve the goal of the campaign. First of them being Oxfam Australia, which is one of the founding members of the Close the Gap campaign. Launched in 2006 by Australian icons Cathy Freeman and Ian Thorpe, Oxfam aims to deal with a serious social problem in regarding the health of Indigenous Australians. The organisation has led with a lot of public coordination of the campaign to make sure that the issue engages the public and engages politicians to try and set some pathways out of the problem. Tom Widdop leads on the Indigenous rights engagement and discusses Oxfam's contribution to the Close the Gap campaign.
One of the big things we do is the National Close the Gap Day in March, and so we coordinated another National Close the Gap Day, which is a very big national day in which we have organisations and individuals from right around the country come together to sort of talk about the issues and to celebrate some of the achievements. And this year, being the 10th anniversary, we asked people to reflect on the progress that's been made and to have a look at what still needed to be done. And we had around 1,630 different events around the country, so it was very big. And then Oxfam was also very involved in the parliamentary gathering in February that brought together more than 60 federal MPs and the Prime Minister and others. Yeah, so Oxfam's committed to the Close the Gap campaign for the length of the campaign. It's a generational campaign. We're trying to make long-term change, so we'll be looking this year at really how do we bring together the more than 200,000 people that supported the campaign and I guess make sure that their passion for the issue creates real change. So I'll be really trying to focus on how do we get our political leaders to really follow through with their commitments and create the real change we need to see.
Universities have also created awareness about the problem and have been setting mechanisms to make sure students understand about Indigenous history and health inequality, Sydney University being one of them in particular. They have established an 8-step kinship module, which is an online education program that promotes Aboriginal cultural education at a university level. Indigenous academic leader Lynette Riley discusses the importance of this module within the university.
And the reason it's so important is that we've got many people going out and working with or for Aboriginal people in a lot of different government agencies, so they're in the public service sector, and they simply don't even know the basics about Aboriginal people. And one of the foundational things you need to know is Aboriginal kinship, because that affects all the relationships that operate within a community, and you need to also understand the impact of colonisation on kinship so that you can then understand what it is that you need to do in your public service sector to help support Aboriginal people.
Staff member Amy McHugh explains the goals behind the NCCC at Sydney University.
So the NCCC actually stands for the National Centre for Cultural Competence, and we're the only one in Australia. And our major goal is to infuse and bring the idea of cultural competence to the university and to all of Australia. So one of our major things that we're working on now is creating workshops for the academics so that they can put cultural competence, sort of infuse it into everything that they do, into the programs. Even if students are studying biology, chemistry, whatever, medicine, it's really important for people to have cultural competence in everything that they do. So that's one of our major things that we're doing. We're also creating research, we're writing papers, we're trying to build the knowledge base around cultural competence and what it means in the Australian context.
Hopefully within the next decade, the inequality gap between Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians will have improved dramatically. Vangeli Kollias, reporting for the Culture Collective.